Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we've made a lot of good progress recently on the inside of the house. As you can see behind me, we have our kitchen almost done with cabinets. We have all the base cabinets in, all of the uppers except for the ones over the fridge and the side panel that goes on the other side of the fridge, because we have to add some more flooring before we can put those in. So we're working on that. We've got tile going. They started this last week. That's one of the few things we're hiring out, just because we wanted it to look nice, and that's not the funnest work, in my opinion, to be doing the tile. So we have that hired out, so they have been working this week. I'll show you guys what that looks like so far. And then we're also doing some prep work so that they can continue with their tile work, because we're doing recessed shower pans in the 2 master bathrooms. So that's a little bit complicated. So there's some prep work that we had to get coordinated with them so that we could get that set up so that they could finish the flooring in those 2 bathrooms. So hopefully they'll be finishing the floors real soon, and they've got walls, and then they can do backsplash and wall tile around any countertop areas once the countertop is in. So that's the other thing that we're working on. Countertops are coming out tomorrow to measure up. So we've got all the base cabinets in, everything ready to go. So they're coming out to do their final measurements, and then they'll actually purchase and cut the slabs based on those final measurements. And then it'll take about a week, week and a half, and those will be all installed. So it'll make things look a lot more finished in the house to have countertops in. We're working on getting more of the flooring, the hardwood flooring in. So it's really coming along. We still have, a lot of finish work, trim and all those kind of things to get done, putting in lights and fixtures and things like that. So we still have a ways to go. We still have insulation in the attic to put in, a few things to finish up there and underneath in the crawl space. But for the most part, we are making some good strides towards finishing up the house. We cannot wait to get in the house. We are definitely ready to move out of the trailers and move into a house. So we're looking forward to it being done. Still a bit of ways to go, but I'll go ahead and show you guys where we're at right now. Okay, so here you can see our cabinets. This tall, deeper cabinet on the end is where the microwave is going to go, our built-in microwave. The uppers go up to 9 feet. They have 2 sets of doors, but they are actually one unit, even though there's 2 separate doors, just to kind of break up how tall they are. So those will go up to 9 feet. We haven't added things like crown and toe kick. We're still working on that. And then apron sink and things like that will go in once we have countertops. But this is where the dishwasher will go, so that's why there's a space there. We still have to put trim around the window before they can do backsplash, but that'll be after countertops are in. And then behind the ladder here is the 48-inch opening for our stove range, and above that is the range hood that will go up. So then we have the island is right here. So the reason that has an unfinished edge right now is because we're doing waterfall countertops where the countertop comes down to the ground, and the countertop will stick past the island about 18 inches so that we can have seating along the back side. And we'll put a couple panels up to cover the backside of this island. It's about 9 feet wide, so it's a good sized island. So it'll be about 3.5 feet by 9 feet. So that'll be really nice to have a nice big island in the kitchen. And then over here, where you can see a light right now, is where the fridge is gonna go. And like I said, we're still finishing up the floor over here. So we have to add a few more rows of flooring before we can get the uppers in that go above the fridge and the final end panel over here. So it's one of the things we're working on. As you can see, there's a bunch of our flooring pieces. As we go about laying them, I've been kind of picking out what the pattern and layout is. It's a bit dusty right now from all the drywall dust, but we kind of hammer in one row at a time, get it all in place, and then we nail it with a hardwood floor nailer. As you can see, there's our underlayment. So we still have underlayment to continue, and we'll add that as we move along in the flooring all throughout here. So that's what we're working on over in the kitchen, living room area. Going back this way towards the bedrooms and bathroom down here. We don't have lights in, so it's a bit dark, but the floor tile is in. So we used a Schluter system, really good brand. It's a little bit more pricey than some of the other brands, but I personally have used it a lot in projects with work as an architect. So I know it's a good quality system and a good brand. So that orange piece that you can see here, I'll show you, is the uncoupling membrane. It comes from Schluter, so they do like a mortar bed and then the uncoupling membrane, and then they put the mortar and tile on top of that. So this should be ready to go with grout Monday, I believe. I'm not sure if they're gonna grout first on here or work on the wall tile that goes on the 3 sides of the shower tub there. So let's see what step they want to do next as far as tile and grout. I'll let them kind of decide their own method of working, but that is our downstairs floor tile. For the regular bathroom, it's a 12 by 24 limestone tile, and it has kind of a concrete look, which I think is really nice. And then going into the master bathroom, I'll show you what we've been working on. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of our different tiles and things in here. So again, you get a better look at this Ditra uncoupling mat from Schluter. It's on the floor in here, so everywhere the tiles going on the floor, that just helps prevent cracking in the floor tile, because it essentially does what it's called, uncouples the floor from the tile, so that any movement in the floor that happens won't transfer, or is less likely to transfer over to the tile and cause cracks in the tile. And then from there, there's waterproofing and such that we do for the shower and the tub and all that. So as you can see here, we recessed our floor here so that we can have a curbless shower. So it's about a 1-inch shower pan from Schluter that's going in here, and we had to get that below the floor so that the top of that pan is at or just below the floor outside of the shower, so that everything is going to slope into the shower so that the water stays in there. So that's what we've been working on, just to get tile, keep them going. As you can see, they couldn't finish their uncoupling membrane until we got these recessed shower pans in. So you can see our joists here, a floor joist, and we had to cut out the floor sheeting in this spot and lower everything by 1 inch. By taking out the subfloor, which is a 3/4 inch, we only had to go another 1/4 inch down. And then we had to build up the joists on either side so that we could then put the sheeting down so that it's flush with the top of these joists, and gave us our inch of difference between the shower floor and the rest of the subfloor, so that we could recess that shower pan in there. So that's what they're working on here. I wrote on all the walls and floors so that tile knew what tile and grout and everything went where. And the configuration, you can see these are actually the shower niches for the walls in the tub showers in the regular bathrooms. And so it's a similar setup upstairs as well. We go that way. They've done some work upstairs as well. We're still working on finishing the recessed shower pan floor up there. We got to finish out these treads down here, get this all cleaned up so that when we put the floor in here soon, the hardwood floor, it ties nicely. So if we go upstairs, you can see in the laundry room, we are doing a 4 by 16 inch herringbone pattern on the floor. I'm really excited about it. I think it's turning out really nicely. So they're in the process of laying that tile right now. They'll finish that up hopefully on Monday. And countertop is going to come in here. So you can see countertop will go here and then be taller up here. So that's where our washer and dryer is going. So that's why we had to bring the floor tile all the way across under there. So they're working on that. And then in here, this is the regular bathroom upstairs. And this again is a 12 by 24 limestone, a different kind of limestone. This one I think is really pretty. It's a little dirty right now, just from the mortar bed. But once that's all cleaned up, it'll be a really pretty limestone tile, very light, kind of creamy tone to it. On this one, we needed 2 more full-size pieces. There's a couple that broke, and it was a slightly different layout than downstairs, so we ended up needing more tiles than originally expected, especially with a couple that broke. So those are coming. We have to wait before I can get 2 more pieces of that tile so that they can finish out that floor. So that's one of the things I'm working on so that they can finish that floor. So you can see up here, again, we have more of the floor tiles. This is the floor tile for my bathroom, my husband's bathroom upstairs. It's this really gorgeous marble stone tile. So it's got a lot of unique and varied colors and veining, and since it's a natural stone, it's obviously very brittle. As you can see there, we had 1 whole box arrive entirely split in half. So a replacement for that is also on its way. And then just like downstairs, here's the uncoupling membrane in our bathroom. And we're almost done up here with that recessed floor. So you can see the plumbing right there for where the sewer piping for the drain for the shower is, that we'll end up connecting to. But we're almost done with this floor. We'll get this piece installed here, and then we can be all ready for them to install the shower pan and continue with the floors in here. So that's really exciting. It definitely feels like things are moving a lot faster when you're getting finishes and all that in. So we're really looking forward to having a working bathroom in the house. Will be really exciting. We'll get there soon. You can see it's cloudy today, so you can't see the mountains. But it's been a nice cooler day, unusual for this time of year to be this cool. but we'll take it since we're working in a house that does not have the AC on. So that's nice to have some cool weather to work in. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay tuned, and smash that like button and stay tuned for the next video.